Dystopia Tonight. Dystopia Tonight.
Let's get her out of here.
Do you like going by that, or do you want to keep it like, do you want to keep your real name secret?
Oh, you know, those who know me call me Day, whatever. Melody.
Okay. All right. I love that though, because there was a while like where I was promoting it and I was like, I don't know if I should say her real name or just go by Melody. I'm like, it's Melody everywhere on social media, and I'm like, so maybe she has like a secret identity. I don't know.
It's fine. Deylin. It doesn't matter.
I love your name though. Deylin Sandoval is a great name. It's like you don't even need Melody, but I like the play on words there. So
yeah, thank you. Dystopia Tonight. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
You had to do it. It's so good. Everybody fucking loves it, by the way. And you, like, to your credit, like I gave you like, I think an idea of kind of what I wanted it to sound like, I wanted it to be, and you fucking knocked it out of the park in one hit. You were like, I know what you're talking about. Give me like a week. What did you do? You did it in like a week or something like that. Maybe like a week and a half.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And then first go around, you killed it. And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's a theme.
I appreciate it. When you said you liked 80s music, I'm like,
yes.
Okay, that's in my alley because I love 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of like remixes with 80s music and stuff too, which is awesome.
Yeah. 80s, 90, a lot of throwbacks too.
Yeah.
I do a lot of mashups with those. So
Yeah, well, I felt like, so you gave me 3 options to promote on the Dystopia Instagram page or whatever, and immediately I went with Hey Arnold. Like there was no, like I don't even know why you gave me other choices, because I was like, oh, I'm fucking, of course I'm gonna go with the Hey Arnold theme. Are you crazy?
Gosh, I thought it was like a weird kid because every time I heard that Boys to Men song, Motown Philly, I'm like, I always thought of Hey Arnold, and growing up in the 90s. Like that was my jam, and every time I heard the horns, I'm like, "Hey Arnold!" Like I was at Ross, and I heard, I shop at Ross. Okay,
no, it's classic.
I heard Motown Philly, and I'm like, "Damn, okay, I should just make a mashup already," because I've always had that Hey Arnold theme song in my head, so I just put them in there and just goofed around. Yeah,
there's so many of your mashups I loved over the pandemic too, because you did a lot of TV ones, didn't you? Like you had a couple other ones that were like cartoon TV mashups, and didn't you? I think you did. You did
an Arthur one.
You did an Arthur, yeah. You did an Arthur one.
That one with Adam Levine.
Yes.
Da, 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 da. I can't remember the name of the song. Oh my god, there's so many songs that I just I remember the melodies, but I forget the songs.
Do you do it based on like kind of what you just said? Like you heard a song originally, and then it reminds you of like another song, and that's how you decide to put them together?
Yes, it always happens like that.
That's awesome.
Always. And it's so weird because like one time I was scrolling through Instagram and I heard a Dua Lipa song, and then the next post after that was like something else, and I'm like, okay, this is a sign, like the universe is telling me to do a mashup. And sometimes like the ideas would come in the shower just randomly. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And
all the best ideas come when you're naked and wet. That's my theory on when you can't get to a pad or pen or your phone and you're like slippery, and it's I don't know why. They need to get something where you can take your phone in the shower.
You know what? Let's create something. We got to invent something. that calls for, that's a solution right there. You have to invent something.
Have you? Yeah. Are you one of those people who, if you have an idea, you'll actually get out of the shower and like go grab your phone, like to write it down and then get back in? Or you like, or do you try to remember it?
I call Monica, my girlfriend. I just like,
yeah. Okay, that works. I need a pen and paper.
Yeah. Or my phone. I just need to like voice memo it, or I have to write it down, or else they're gone.
I physically like I will get. Well, I usually have everything kind of within reach. Like I have a counter outside the like the shower or whatever. So I'll put my phone there, but I will like lean out, dry my hands off, try desperately to type whatever it is I have in there, put it down, and then get back in, and then hope the hot water doesn't run out by the time I'm done. But I've also played that game where I try to remember like a fucking moron, and then it's gone like one shampoo later.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem. Like, we need to create something, invent something that would help us. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how those ideas come to mind.
Were you gonna say, Tom?
No, I said I have a ton of questions about lo-fi music. I find that so interesting that you're into that. And I think there's such an incredible space for it right now. Like everybody needs it.
Oh yeah. Especially during this time. Like,
well, for people who don't know, explain what lo-fi music is. That way, people.
Lo-fi music is basically like, inspired by jazz rap, and it's music that would actually help you concentrate and focus, and that's how it got popular. Actually, it's influenced a lot. I'm highly influenced by Jay Dilla's beats and the jazz rap, and that's basically what it is now. It's become like this huge YouTube thing where I don't know if you've heard of Chilled Cow and the girl that's constantly studying for like that's all lo-fi, and it just became popular throughout the years. And I got asked to do like lo-fi remixes from a jazz group called the Groove Project. I'm so sorry, I went blank.
That's fine. I've been doing that like for the last 2 weeks. You can ask Tom. Blanking out, like on past guest names too. Like I'm like, who was on?
Me, like that's right, me.
So it's flipping jazz music and just creating a hip hop beat over it, and just giving not letting it be so busy, but enough for someone to study or relax to. And I think we needed that definitely last year.
Yeah. So, have you found it's helped you to focus and like?
Oh yeah. Even before creating it, I started listening to it. I get anxiety, so I need it a lot.
Yeah.
I need that soothing music. And sometimes, I love my alternative rock, and I love all types of music, honestly. Yeah. That's why my music is just like all over the place. It's like pop, Latin, hip hop.
Yeah. I like that's why I love mashups, because I like figuring out what's in people's heads. And what that's a great way to figure. Like I liked learning about what music slowly learning about like through the pandemic, watching your videos. I'm like, oh, that's cool. She really likes this type of music, and then you would switch gears and take something else and like combine them together. So it was kind of cool, because I was like, oh, cool, you're taking little pieces from like every different type of music and making your own stuff. Yeah,
some people don't understand it. Like,
really?
It's usually the kids. They'll be like, this ain't popular. This isn't popular. There was one mashup that I did, and it was a Brazilian funk song mashed up with Mike Jones, like the Still Tippin' on.
I think I saw
it was Still Tippin' versus, oh my God, I can't remember the name. It's Brazilian funk though, and I mashed them together. I posted it on TikTok, and someone was like, "This is ass." This is a kid.
Wow.
Kids are so honest though. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like some ideas work and some don't, but
right. At least you're throwing shit out there.
Yeah, he was like, "This is ass." I'm like, okay, delete.
They are brutal. Yeah, they are brutal on TikTok.
Yes, yeah. Some of the songs I wasn't able to post on there, like some mashups. I mean,
I was gonna ask if you're having trouble with like royalties and rights and shit like that, like copyright, whatever.
On SoundCloud, yeah. And people ask me like, "Can you post a full version?" And I'm like, I can't. I'll post it on Instagram. Sometimes like on Reels, it'll go through, but I don't want to get flagged or sued by. But it's an idea. I feel like it's like a new genre now, mashups.
Right.
It's a good way to bring back old songs and make them popular again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's oddly that you do have trouble with the kids, because I feel like combining that would bring like a new generation into, the music and stuff that they listen to.
Yeah.
But there was one that I'm looking for now that I fucking loved, and I think you were gonna. Do you remember one not too long ago that you were like, I think I'm gonna get rid of it, and I was like, don't you fucking dare, because I really liked it.
What was it?
I should have thought. This is one of those moments that you just had, because now I'm blanking, but I thought of it earlier and I can't remember what it was.
Is it just recently? Was it the Missy Elliott one?
Yeah. Now, did we talk
and
about
Pitbull?
that one? And no, maybe not that. Then that you were gonna delete. It was something else, not too long ago. But anyway, yeah, it was like
the Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold, that's what it was. Yeah, that's the one you were gonna get rid of, which I was like really bummed out about. I was like, no.
Yeah. Boys to Men, Motown Philly, when the horns come in, it did. That and Hey Arnold mashed them together, and I just felt like I was a weird kid listening to Motown Philly and always thinking about Hey Arnold. And sometimes I'll look it up and be like, okay, did anybody else mash this up? Or is my brain just fucked up? And so I just did it, for fun, and it worked.
Are you ready to go back at because it's post-COVID, and Tom and I were just talking about everybody's got hang-ups, and I do too, about I just went out and did a show recently, which is a blast. But I also feel like people are way too fucking eager to you just run into the same scumbags, that didn't give a shit about anything during the pandemic, and I'm uneasy with it. Do you feel like you're ready?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm. That's the perfect way to answer it.
Yeah, I think I tested the vaccine out 2 weeks ago for sure.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, there was a venue we were at, and I was helping my girlfriend at one of her gigs, and I'm like, do I really want to be here? They're not requiring masks, and you will run into those people, but honestly, I just don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah,
I'm battling my own hypochondria with the fact that I have the vaccine, which I know is good. I'm glad I'm good that I've got it. But I was at the club, and I'm the guy who was emceeing the show, because I was closing out the show, and then they were like, "You're about to go on," so I get ready to go. I get to the section that I'm supposed to stand in before I go on stage, and I take my mask off, and then he comes back and he leans in and he's like, "Hey, we got one more guy that's gonna go on before you. Do you care?" And I was like, "No, I don't care." And then he walked away, and I was like, "Okay, now I've got it." Because I was like, I just had my mask off, and he leaned in too close, and I was like, "Yeah, no, now I've got COVID." Because I thought I was in my zone, and no. Yeah,
I don't know. Everything is opening up, and I'm like, wow, did the pandemic even happen?
Oh yeah, no,
that's exactly what we were just saying. It went right back to normal. Light switch on, let's go.
And it went back to normal in the worst fucking way, where I'm so tired of scumbags. I was tired of them before COVID, but I'm so fucking done. Just the attitude, and I'm bummed to see business owners I hated survived it, both physically and their business in general. I have real disdain. I was like,
oh, fuck. That's harsh though.
Yeah, that is harsh. Yeah,
right? Your business didn't really survive. Crazy.
I'm
You're evil, fuck. John.
I know. I just know these people suck in general. So I'm like, because it was I know they were bitching about stuff beforehand. God, one of these I go to get my hair cut at this one place, not to brag, I get haircuts sometimes. She was the entire time, I know that she doesn't know that I know this, but this woman who owns this place was bitching on Facebook constantly about it being a plandemic and all this other nonsense, all that other crap, and people need to open up, and she needs to open up her hair cutting business, yada yada yada. And now she's fucking selling her business and retiring, and I was like, you dumb bitch. You fucking fought. And she didn't tell any of her employees, so they're all it's out of the blue. So I'm sucks. It sucks so much. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, people need to work, and and then immediately after everything opens back up, she's like, I'm retiring, I'm selling the business, and we're like,
yeah, people need to work.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, you fuck. So yeah, those kind of people I wish bad things on.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, some employers did take care of their employees during the time, and then some were just it was a bad breakup. That's how it felt like. I had a day job, and I had a night job doing stagehand, which I love. Shout out to the Anthem and DC, because they really did take care of their people.
Yeah.
Yeah, my day job was just like, hey, we're gonna be back in 2 weeks. And, we didn't know. Nobody knew. And then just like suddenly June came and it's like laid off.
Oh yeah. Are you still laid off?
It's over. Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least you're still making music and shit. That's awesome.
Oh,
do you feel like
it's what I fucking love?
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for this time. But then again, like I had my girlfriend caught COVID.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like terrified throughout this 2 weeks. Like she was out probably for more than 2 weeks. But I was like, if I get sick too, like we're both down. And my anxiety just skyrocketed.
Yeah. I'm stunned you didn't get it. That's impressive.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't know what it is. To this day, it's like a mystery.
Yeah. Well, you said John's long hair makes me nervous because now he's a druid of the handsome dark ones. Thank you.
I love your long hair actually. But I
you.
did like that Johnny Bravo cut.
Oh,
yeah, you showed me a picture, or I think you have it on your Instagram too.
It's on my Instagram. Yeah, I had the whole costume and everything going with the hair flipped up. I know sometimes I miss it too because I'm not like the long hair thing. I didn't realize how irritated. Like I don't know how women do. You had hair. You had longer hair last time I saw you.
I did. I cut it in November.
Yeah. I don't know how women do it because I actually find it like I was having trouble. Like it was like I got like a trim or whatever, but it was like in my face while I was sleeping, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking shave my goddamn head. Like it was really annoying. So I was like, God, I'm like girls do this all the fucking time. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, just think of it like, well, during the whole pandemic, it was like I had my hair in a bun and my hair is just falling out, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh my God.
I can't have it
from stress.
Yeah, no, it was just like from tying it too much and keeping it in a bun. Like you don't let your hair breathe, and you're gonna start losing hair.
I haven't done the man bun thing yet, and I refuse to do it.
Yeah,
I absolutely refuse. I don't think I can go that level of douche yet. We'll see what happens.
You should braid it. That actually look cool.
I'm not gonna do that. That's terrible. I won't touch it.
Good designs.
That's appropriation. You trying to get me canceled? Jesus Christ.
Cancel? Why would you get canceled for that?
It's cultural appropriation. You don't know that by now? Oh my God. You are not on Twitter.
My tea. I'm drinking peaceful mint tea so I can be peaceful.
I like that. Yeah, we were talking before the show started though, because I know how we met and I know where we met, but I like that you and I don't remember anything really during or after.
Anywhere around that?
Anywhere around there. I was trash to begin with by the time I got to that secret place. And then I have like images of us talking, me and your girlfriend. And then I think I left. I'm sure I left, but I don't know anything like. But you were. I remember our conversations were fun. It was awesome, and we were like, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah. I don't remember the name of the place.
Me neither.
Yeah, but it was like a downstairs place.
It was a secret
downtown
place.
DC. Yeah, it was a secret place, but it was like very dark in there.
It was
like, very little lighting, and there was just like random elevator.
Yeah, there was a creepy. It had a bit of a weird vibe to it. If I was more sober, I think I would have checked stuff out a little bit more. But remember, we were also sitting next to like these two people who were like fucking going at it, like they were about to have sex on the couch. Is that the only thing I remember? That, and then we were like, maybe we should move, or do they want us to stay? Yeah. I'm like, is this an Eyes Wide Shut thing? Is Tom Cruise here? What the fuck's going on? But yeah, for a while we were just like sitting down, and then all of a sudden this couple was like doing their thing, and we were like, do we move or?
Yeah, I think that was actually the last night. We just didn't know that everything was going to be locked down. That was that was the very last night that, I went out.
Yeah, I agree. That was, I did like one show in New York the next day. And then after that, everybody was like, hey, if you've been into a city, you probably have it. So don't go near your friends or family. And I was like, okay. But yeah, that was it. That was crazy. And the dude who owns that place was really nice. But also he's one of those people that was like, he was so casual about, like, I remember he was talking to me about private jets, and like he had like one of those Do you know him personally? I don't even know. Do you? Maybe
no. I think we were there because of the one of the bartenders, but she was like not working.
Oh,
she was not on the clock. But
I was there because Tony Woods dragged me all over that city. Thankfully, that was like the greatest way to end a pre-pandemic. But
yeah, I remember that you had just finished a show, didn't you?
Yeah,
was it in DC?
Yep, I gotten done at the Improv, and Tony was somewhere else, and he came. Or he texted me and he was like, "Hey, come to the Draft House with me. We're gonna do a set." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I went to the Draft House and I went to leave, and he was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm done my set. It's good seeing you." I'm like, "I'm gonna peace out." And he's like, "Nah, you're going out with me." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we went to like a jazz club, and then we went to somewhere. Oh yeah, the jazz club was a lot of fun. I'd never been to a jazz club before, but that was awesome.
Oh, man, I love jazz clubs.
And then free drinks wherever we went. So I was just like, boom, boom, boom. It's good times. Yeah. And then the guy at that secret place was just, I don't know. I have one photo from that night of him with like our like a happy photo, like arms around each other. I have no idea what his name is.
I just remember like after that night, there was just this really tall dude with a trench coat and just following my friend.
Really?
Like, yeah. And he was just like we went to a pizza place across. I think it was a pizza place across the street. I don't know where you went. I don't know. We just like split.
Yeah, you guys.
Everything just happened so quick, and I don't know. Maybe it's so slow, but I did have a couple drinks that night. But yeah, there's this just tall dude, like super tall, probably 7 feet, and in a trench coat, just following us.
Nice.
And I'm like, what the hell does this guy want?
Right. And how do we get rid of him?
Yeah.
And where is he going to bury us if we don't?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It was like, oh, okay, we need to get out of here. It's time to go home. Crazy. Yeah.
I thought you guys knew where I always assume everybody knows more than me. So like I just assumed that this was this is a cool hidden place and everybody belonged there but me. And then
I had no idea about that place. I think it was called the Mad Hatter. I think.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah.
It had a mirror for a door, so that was pretty interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah. That was weird walking up to like it doesn't look like a door at all when you go down the steps, but there is a dude standing out in front of it, which is also kind of ominous and weird.
Yeah.
So, and
they did say that elevator that's probably why you got a weird vibe. It's because that elevator just opens randomly, and they think that place is haunted.
Yes, I do remember that now.
Yeah. It does have a creepy vibe to it.
Yeah, at the elevator.
I don't know if there's a hotel upstairs or something, but yeah. That's DC.
I have no idea. Yeah,
there's a lot of history
DC
there.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. Do you go anywhere else when you're out here? Or?
That's the first time I've ever been anywhere because my friends don't know anything cool. So, like when we were there, like they took me to like a couple bars or whatever, but nothing like wherever Tony fucking dragged me to. Yeah. But I don't go out too much. I usually kind of stay within the club areas and like try, to stay out of trouble. Yeah. I'll go to the movie. I'm old. I'll go to the movies. I wish I had more. Oh yeah.
Have you gone recently?
No, I haven't gone anywhere except for New York and my friend's house now.
Oh gosh, we went to the movies. We saw Cruella.
Oh, how was it?
Wow.
That's a really good movie. I love it. I know
it was good. I heard it was good. I heard the music was good.
Yeah. The casting. Oh my gosh, and the stylist and hair and makeup, fashion, wardrobe, whatever.
Was it in the same vein of like the Maleficent and all that other shit, like where they do a spin on the evil character?
I haven't seen Maleficent, but I would assume that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they do like a string of those, and like I like the twist on the evil character kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cool. I have to go see it. I want to go see A Quiet Place 2.
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god, it's a horror. Well, you don't like horror movies, do you?
I love horror movies. Yeah.
Do you? Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you got to see A Quiet Place.
I suck at watching movies because I like I just watch them at the wrong time, like at night, and I fall asleep. So I need to stop doing that.
Never. See, I can't fall asleep if I'm involved in something. I can't go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'll never fall asleep.
it's not that the movie or the show is boring. It's just like the dialogue. It's so soothing that it just puts me to sleep. I don't know.
The rhythmicness of it.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm such an audio person too. That I guess that's why I get my ideas in the showers, because the sound of the rain is just like.
Yeah.
How do you not fall asleep in the shower? Is that a problem?
I used to do that when I was a kid.
Really?
Okay. They're gonna cut just that clip of me asking that question.
Right.
They're gonna be like, "What kind of show is this?"
Yeah, they'll edit anything.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I know what you mean. My friends used to shit on me all the time because I take like ridiculously long showers, and they'd be like, "What are you doing in there?" And I'm like, being fucking quiet. Like,
taking up the hot water.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's fucking soothing as shit.
Yeah.
To just be in there and not have to listen to anything. So when did you get into like music and stuff like that? Was that did you always want to do something with music, or did you just like fall into that at some point when you got older?
Well, my mother made me take piano lessons when I was 7.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like, "And we're gonna join a church choir." So I'm like, oh, gosh. So I hated it. I really hated it for the longest, and I had to practice. And eventually, I started listening to Coldplay, and Chris Martin really inspired me to play piano. So I would play piano, pick up the songs, Coldplay songs. I think it was Clocks first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I started playing that by ear, and I'm like, ooh, if I can learn how to play this, let me see if I can learn to play the next song. And I just started playing by ear, and then eventually, like, music theory came along, and I hated music theory. So yeah, everything just started, coming together in high school when I took a piano class in high school, and I was like, you know what, I want to go to college for recording.
Wow.
Audio. And yeah, it is just, music has been with me since then.
Oh, that's awesome. Can you still play the piano, or did you kind of give it up?
Yeah, I play it. I need to practice though. Like I want to get back into really, really playing like jazz and stuff.
Nice. Can you do it without any mute? Like, are you one of those people who can kind of play by ear at this point?
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
can play it by ear, but sheet music, no, I can't. Like to read and play at the same time, no. I can read it. I can't read and play at the same time. That's a whole different skill. It's like, oh, gosh.
No, but I feel like being able to play by ear is so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how the mashups come to mind.
Yeah,
like, I'll just hear it. I'll pick it up. I'm like, oh, this sounds really good. It's in the same key, or I can just, pitch it and make them work. And
right.
I guess that's the benefit of it. It's a good thing.
That's awesome. Did you enjoy your time at college and doing that kind of stuff? Or?
Oh yeah. Oh, I loved it. I learned so much. The technical side and the creative side. Mm-hmm. How to record vocals and like what kind of music you do for certain films, and it's so like fun. I don't know. I was just a nerd, and I think I was the only one that was fucking geeking out. And I was like the only female, well, one of the few females in that class. So it's a very male-dominated industry. And I'm like,
oh, really? Wow.
I feel like I belong somewhere, but at first I was like, man, I don't think I'm gonna, be on their level. But everyone was super cool, and I made so many friends there. Like,
that's
cool
awesome.
People, yeah.
Do you want to score movies? Is that like kind of what you're looking to do? Like score movies eventually?
Eventually, yeah. In the future.
Awesome.
I don't think I don't think I'm there yet, but maybe I'm just selling myself short.
Yeah, I think you're selling yourself short. I think you could do that. Absolutely do that. Yeah. Is there anything that you like? Is there any like piece of music for like movies and stuff like that you like to gear yourself toward, or like I love the like Alan Silvestri is one of those guys who like scores music and stuff like that. Like he did the Avengers, the last 2 movies I think he did or whatever, and then like obviously there's John Williams. Do you want to go in that route, or do you want to take your own kind of like actually like incorporating your mixing music into like score, like movie score, stuff like that? Because you don't see that very often.
Yeah. Like eventually, I know for like horror movies, I'm inspired by Joseph Bashar, like what he did with Insidious.
Oh,
and it's so I don't know.
Insidious
It's
is
like
so good.
creepy as fuck. But I actually met him at Universal Studios. They were doing the Halloween Horror Nights, and they did an Insidious, I guess, maze. And he was there, and I'm like, yo, that's Joseph Bashar. What the fuck? Like, it was one of my favorite movies at the time too.
Right.
And I was like so inspired by the soundtrack. And yeah.
Was he cool when you met him, or was he like kind of aloof? Or
no, he was cool. He was really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, but you know, you can tell that he does horror films. Like he's really cool. Yeah,
yeah, that kind of vibe
tell,
to him.
Like, yeah, it's like that eerie.
That's crazy. Is that like on the top of your list of people you'd want to work with, or like do you have like somebody that you really want to work with in the industry?
Oh, for film or like just anyone in the music?
Anyone. Go for anyone.
Oh God, Pharrell Williams.
Oh man, dude, that dude does not fucking age.
He just came out with. I think he came out with his own skincare product.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to try that out.
Yeah, yeah. He's definitely someone that I would want to work with. Yeah,
he's awesome.
And he's worked in film too. Right?
Yeah,
he did the Happy soundtrack for the Minions.
Yeah, what the fuck is that movie called?
Despicable Me.
Thank you.
I thought it was called The Minions, but
yeah, no. But I think
the Minions are in it.
It may have well been.
Yeah.
May as well have been. Yeah, he's fucking awesome. His music is very like upbeat and like I don't know, like you hear any of his stuff, you immediately get happy. Like that's which is funny because that was obviously the name of a song, but like it's still like anything that he, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of cliche to say it, but like any of that whole soundtrack, like as soon as it pops on or anybody's playing it, I'm like, hey, like instant mood change.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Pharrell.
So we got to get you hooked up with Pharrell.
I just did a mashup, Pharrell and Justin Bieber.
Oh no! Wow. Oh, that's cool. Which ones?
That latest Justin Bieber track.
Yeah. What is the hell
Peaches.
Is that? I was gonna say Peaches. Okay.
Yeah. It was Peaches and oh my God, it was a Jay-Z Pharrell song, Frontin', I think.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So.
Have you ever done one that you couldn't get right that would just driving you crazy, like a mashup that you had in your head but you couldn't get it on to, like you couldn't get the sound right? Because that would drive me crazy. I mean, I feel like if you could, I often hear shit in my head and like cannot get it expressed on the page or whatever, and I'm like, fuck this shit. Walk away from it. Like,
oh man, I think it's very rare for a mashup to not work, but there was one that I thought I was gonna nail, and it was Mike Jones, the Still Tippin' song with the Brazilian funk track, and I thought that was gonna be like so dope, and I posted it on TikTok, and the kids are so fucking like,
oh my God, fuck these people.
They're so honest. They're like, this is ass.
Oh my God.
You're right. This is ass, because I kept listening to it over and over and over, and I'm like, this is ass.
Wow.
You're right, man.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I'm gonna have to go on there and fucking start a fight
and troll it.
And just troll it back and forth.
Yeah. But usually like if a song doesn't work immediately, I can like transpose it and like change the pitch. Like I did that with, oh my God, there's a mashup with Kendrick Lamar's Travis Scott Goosebumps and Sail Away, Enya.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, this is going to work. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Made it happen.
That's fucking awesome. Are you going to do any live stuff coming up, do you think?
Like outside in the world?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about,
go? Like, because everybody's doing like everyone's doing like outside, like, I don't know if that kind of stuff can be moved like to an outdoor venue or anything like that. But like, I feel like that's almost the way to go because there's still some of that shit kind of lingering, you know, like,
yeah.
I feel like especially since it's summertime, people are taking advantage of all the outdoor stuff. So I don't know if you feel comfortable doing it.
Not quite. Like it's a mix. Like yes and no. I guess it's the pressure that things are opening up and like everyone just wants to be out. But I don't know. I like being in my cave. So if the opportunity comes, then yeah.
Yeah,
For
I don't
sure.
blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's getting these offers to do shit, and it still feels the same way where you're just like, is it worth it? Like how much am I getting paid to do this kind of shit?
Work. Okay.
Also, the gig scene. I mean, the music. Yeah. The music stuff is so much different. Like, especially between you guys. I feel like people who are like musically inclined, jumped onto the streaming stuff really quick. Yeah. Like, which was impressive because comedy took a bit, and it still sucked. Like I think people who could, like yourself, who could put that stuff together, like kind of just kept people going through the whole thing, as opposed to I hated every Zoom show I think I was a part of or on. Even if I did well, I was like, God in heaven, I hope this doesn't last.
Yeah, because you got to feel like the energy, but you're kind of looking at people's like facial expressions, like close up. But on the stage, you're not, right? You don't really see people's expressions, or
I mean, if they're sitting in the front, but that's about it. Like, you don't see. It's much easier to kind of like glance over them and like not really, pay too much attention to them or whatever. But in the Zoom world, also people come on and they fucking turn their camera off, or they leave it on, or they're sitting in the worst physical possible position a human being could sit in, where you're like, not flattering, but also I guess. I mean, who am I to judge? I don't know.
But so do you call them out? Because I know, like, I've been to comedy shows where I sit in the front. They actually make me sit in the front. Is that a thing? Like, they'll make you sit in the front, and then the comedian would just be like,
well, I like
on you.
Oh yeah, I've never like specifically been like, hey, I want that couple in the front. They look weird as shit. But like, I do make people, like, I hate when people come into the club and they're like, they start sitting in the back or on the sides, and like, move them to the front, like, because you need people to sit in the front in case it just doesn't sell out, doesn't look right or whatever. But I worked. When I lived out in LA, this is so fucked up. And I'm sure everybody assumes this is dumb, but it's the first time I had to do it. So I would get like these little part-time jobs or whatever when I first moved out there. And one of them was working for a TV show. And I did, it was like you just got a call, and one day you were doing whatever the fuck they told you to do. So I had to do the seating. And they were like, like, I'm outside with a clipboard, whatever. And they were like, all right, attractive couples go on this side, and unattractive people go on this side. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. God. Right. And I'm like, I have days where I personally think I'm a bit of a ghoul. So I felt really bad judging, like,
you're like, would I be sitting on the right-hand side?
Right. Or would I would be. And like, and the craziest thing was, it's like, I think I got eerily good at it. Where like, I think the next couple times I went back and I was like, hold up, she's really hot, but he's not, and he's taller than her. They're not going to notice her first. So you're going to want to, because it's a sacrifice we all have to make, but she should have fucking dated up, or whatever. Like, it was the most fucked up shit.
I think it's even funnier that you are putting the couple on the ugly side because of the guy.
Yeah.
You're like, she could have went to the left, but
she did. And that's how we teach people that the choices they make.
It can affect you in the long run.
Yeah. I was like, God. But I thought it was fucking cruel. But TV, man, they want the good looking people in the front. And I was totally like, I was trying to like rack my brain. Like, has anybody ever put me in the back of a theater? I think they have. Yeah.
But
and I get it. Now I get it.
Taste, like,
I guess,
right?
But.
Or they're those type of people. It's like, oh, it's not the outside that counts; it's the inside.
Yeah, those people are liars.
Those aren't poor people.
Those are those are what we call liars. I'm always amazed by that. But you know what sucks is I feel like women have to put up with that way more than dudes do. Like, women are always justifying how ugly their fucking men are. They're always like, oh, but he's a good provider, or, he loves my kids, or he's so nice, or he won't cheat, or whatever. And men don't have to do that. Men, they're never, no one's like, they never have to make excuses for the women that they're dating, because unless it's either they're both ugly, like if it this is so fucked up, but it's so cruel.
It's like
men are just cruel. You're right. Dude, but I'm confused. You know me. We've had this conversation because I'm naturally single forever. But like, there's like, I'm fine with it. I'm gonna die alone. It's great.
I don't mean to laugh. No,
no, it's fine. Laugh away. I'm enjoying it until I get too old to fuck, and it's gonna be horrible. So it's coming for us all.
Optimistic.
Oh yeah.
I believe in you. The right one will come.
I appreciate it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a dog.
Get some plants.
Yeah. But
I'll give you this one that's dying right here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's exactly what
I don't think I've watered it in a while.
No, I get it, man. I haven't been watered in a while either. I've been inside. It's upsetting. Someone take me out. Wine and dine me. No, there was this couple I remember one time I was working in the library and I like couldn't get my head around it. I just have questions about relationships and people in relationships and who's faking it and who's not. And this woman was like 800 pounds easy and the dude was like the size of a toothpick and clearly didn't shower. And I'm like, but they were a couple. And I was like, this is stunning to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like neither one of them individually probably could get anybody else. And I'm like, did they make a deal? Are they really in love? Is it just a pact? Is it like, I'm unfuckable, you're unfuckable, let's just live together, we'll do puzzles? Like what? Like I know that's cruel, but I have to know. Like I don't believe in like the, because she's uncomfortably sitting. She's like, I didn't know it was gonna go this way, but we're talking about this shit. I just don't know. You don't have to answer any of that, by the way. I feel bad. Like I'm not putting it on you. Like, answer me. But it's weird, right?
I love it. Well,
sip this drink.
Right? You're sipping the drink.
It's weird,
too.
Right?
I honestly don't know because I don't really judge like a couple.
I feel like such a piece of shit.
No.
No, I know I am.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But everyone has, their own taste or like their own thing. Like
they must.
I don't know. I'm such a not a neat freak, but my desk has to be organized. Sometimes I feel like I have OCD and it drives my girlfriend like crazy. Like,
sure.
Well, I mean, there were times
that's livable. You could live with that.
Yeah, but she's a social butterfly, and I'm just like, I like to be in my production cave, and I like to, socialize, but then, recharge for a bit. And she just likes to, be friendly and whatever. And
but I'm the same. Well, I feel like I'm like both of you combined. Like I'm very extroverted, and I like to go out. But like I have a limit where I do need like a week to recharge and like sit inside and not be. But like I don't know when that's gonna come. Like I just know that like there's gonna be a certain point where I'm like I just shut down and people are like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while, and I'm like, well, there's a reason. I'm tired.
Yeah. Like, don't take it personal. But there are those people that like take it so personal. I'm like,
oh yeah, totally.
I'm not on social media. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just recharging.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm like an extroverted introvert. I guess that's what you would call it. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Well, Tom's got a friend and we talk about all this other stuff all the time. And I love talking about it.
Yeah. She's really big on like Myers-Briggs. So like the different personality types. So me and John just both happen to be a similar personality type, right? Which is ENFP. So I don't know. Have you ever taken the test?
I've taken it a while back. I don't remember what it was though.
No. I would love to know because I made my wife take it. I made my family members take it. Like I was like, because it's how you engage with other people. And I feel like a lot of couple dynamic is like that, where like I'm a very extrovert when my wife is way more introvert than me, but it balances. Like she needs me to pull her out a little. I need her to pull me in a little bit,
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I do like the balance part of it though, because I feel like I don't mind doing inside stuff but like I do need somebody else to remind me you can just stay in, which is fine. But I also like feel like I would be the type of person that would make somebody go out. and do
You
stuff.
need somebody as polarly dynamic as you, but will spring in the opposite direction every time you do to level the scale.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, dude, I've dated people before where like we're like who's just as extroverted, and it feels like we're competing, and that's exhausting.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that's a bad energy mix. That's like, I'm like, dude, I'll just be like, you fucking win. You know,
everything's a competition.
You got me beat. I got nothing. I don't want to go out anymore. like just constantly topping how late each one of us can stay out. I'm like, you know, fuck it, I'm out.
Oh, I'd lose. I'm like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I'm like, I'm out.
Right.
I'm such a grandma. But you know, during the pandemic, I was like, I'm sorry.
No. But I was gonna say you say your grandma, but you are like once you're like when we were out of that thing, you're active though. You're fun to talk to. You're not a wallflower.
Yeah, because I had some drinks. Now that I don't drink, like it's been 5
that's
months,
right. You don't drink.
Free. I don't drink anymore now.
Was that a result of the pandemic?
Yes and no. Well, actually, no. Yes, it was because there was a song that I wrote. It's I never released it, but it was so dark. Ooh. And I'm talking about alcohol. And yeah, I've been drinking since I was pretty young. Wow. And I didn't know that, you know, there's high functioning alcoholics. And I believe I was one of those. So I'm like, all right, I have to stop. And
wow.
You know, 5 months. I feel good.
Good. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know you stopped. I know people who picked it up like specifically during the pandemic where they thought like, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna just keep drinking. I didn't realize how much of a social drinker I was until this hit, because until the other night, until we were back in the city, I hadn't had a drink in like a year and a half.
Wow.
And I was just, because it's just, I never keep it. I don't like drinking alone. And I don't like cracking. I've never been one of those dudes who like comes home, cracks open a beer. Yeah. But it may be also because I don't like getting I don't really like alcohol. I like getting drunk. So if I'm not gonna get drunk by myself, that's fucking lame as shit. Yeah. You know?
So you're a social drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like drinking socially, and because there was no social activity, I just never did it.
Yeah. And that was the problem with me. It's like I would drink to socialize. So was it social anxiety? I don't know.
Wow.
So I stopped, and there was this one, I think this one interview we went to a couple weeks ago, and they were like, here are some bottles of liquor. And I'm like, this is a test. This is a test. Nope, not going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, I feel good.
Tom picked up meth during the pandemic. So, I mean, some of it, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm losing weight. I was 600 pounds.
Yeah. Tom's story is magical.
I said, ooh, like
yeah. Ooh. You're like, tell us more.
I don't know. I just don't ever like to make people feel like, oh, that's bad, or oh, that, you know, like you gotta.
You're supportive.
You are who you are.
Accepting, and inclusive. I hear it. I feel
Yeah, just be who you are.
It's going to be the title of this episode, is just accepting and inclusive with Melody.
Ooh, can I do the voice for that?
Yeah, please. You can do the voice for everything from now on that has to do with this. I love that you did the Dystopia Today thing or whatever, because it's funny. We every now and again we have somebody who's on from like
the UK,
either Australia or Britain or whatever. Yeah, the UK, basically, or whatever. But where we have to do shows during the day, and it's so weird.
Yeah. I remember like when you told me that you were doing the podcast, and I had like remembered, hey, I haven't watched an episode yet, and the first one is like Tom saying, we really need a Dystopia today. I'm like, okay, that's a sign. I should really make one, and it took me a while because I had so much fucking going on at the time, and I'm so glad I did it. You know.
Yeah,
I'm honored. I appreciate you guys for even asking me.
Oh yeah, no, you were like the first person I thought of when I needed a theme for this thing, because I just watched everything you did, and plus you're a cool fucking person too, so that's nice, because I knew it'd be cool to work with you. But I'm still impressed that you got it like immediately. Like no, most of the time I try to explain what I need or what I want, and it takes a couple tries.
Yeah.
But you were just like, nah, I got this.
The 80s, like arpeggiator synth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was
The
inspired
synth
by
stuff.
Stranger Things.
Were you?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Dystopia and like
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah. It was really cool. And plus I like your voice is perfect for the just the dystopia thing. Like I don't know. It's just it nailed it perfectly.
Oh, I hated it. I hated my like just hearing myself, but I think it happens to every like I don't know. Every time I hear myself, I'm like, oh, I hate my voice. I got to do this again. I can do this.
Yeah, I have to edit this fucking thing and I have to listen back and I'm like, oh, John, shut the fuck up. My God. Fucking brutal.
I did.
Have you done a?
Oh, sorry, God. I was gonna say I did a voiceover thing one time, and I had to take like 200 takes because I'm like, it's not perfect. It wasn't hitting. Like there was something like I didn't hit like exactly how I wanted it to hit, so I would just do it over and over. I'm a little bit too much of a perfectionist with that. But like other people, are like that one was fine. I'm like, fine doesn't work. If it's not perfect. It's not perfect. You know.
I was doing like DJ drops and radio intros during the pandemic, and there was someone from France wanted me to say I can't remember what the word was, but it was in French, and I'm like, I don't speak French, and I had to do it literally like I would send him what I thought was great, and he'd be like, no, can you pronounce it like this? And I'm like, well, I don't speak French and I don't have a French accent. So,
wow.
Yeah. And like he would send me voice memos and like how to say it. And I'm just like, can I get someone else to do this?
Right. Would you want to do
eventually, eventually I got it. But French is so like, they say it's so easy if you speak Spanish, but I find it so hard. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, I wouldn't think of those being the same.
Different inflections. Well, they're both like Latin, like love languages, but they're like inflections alter so much. I feel like if you understand it, like if you go to Canada and you understand Spanish, you can get by with be like, oh, okay, I see where you're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just conjugated differently. But yeah, it's interesting. Do you remember the catchphrase? Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember because I think it was just like a name, like a producer or a DJ's name.
Gotcha.
And I don't remember what it was. I've done like a lot.
And you know what's crazy? Like if you know French, you don't know Creole. So like you can't do Haitian, you can't speak Haitian, but like and like what is it, Patois? Like there's all these variations on it. It's so crazy.
Yeah. But
I dig.
I got none of that. I can't speak it. I wish I could speak another. I know all the bad words and then in other languages, and then that's about it. I used to be able to Italian or Spanish or like I've gone to Mexico a few times, and I used to be able to I used to kind of know enough or remember enough from like high school Spanish or whatever to like when people would talk to me, but slowly. And then immediately when because there were these girls that we were with or whatever, when they'd start talking to each other in Spanish, I'd be like, I'm out. Because it was like rapid fire really quick. I'd pick up every other word. Yeah. And then it was a blur. So I fucking can't do any of that shit.
Yeah. It's funny because in Spanish, like my parents are from El Salvador in Central America, but each country kind of has their own like slang, their own accent. And I almost failed like Spanish class in high school.
Because
they taught us like Spanish from, Spain.
Yeah.
How you would speak. Yeah.
That's such bullshit to me because there was a girl in my class who, same thing. Like, I don't remember where she was from, but she wasn't, she could speak Spanish, like her whole family spoke Spanish. She spoke Spanish fluently, but because it wasn't what the teacher wanted or whatever the classic curriculum was, they would have a hard time conjugating verbs. I would be like, Jesus Christ, she already knows 2 languages, speaks English perfectly, speaks Spanish. Just fucking let her pass the goddamn class.
Conjugating,
fuck this shit. Conjugate the verbs. Fuck you. Yeah, she's gonna be fine.
It's so funny. I'm trying to teach my girlfriend Spanish. Like she's learning, but she learned that proper Spanish, but I'm teaching her like slang from El Salvador. We just clash. And I'm like,
that's so cool though.
I'm not the one to teach you. I'm sorry. This won't work.
I'm not good at teaching people shit either. I get very I'm like, this is how you do it. And then they're just like, okay, cool. Can you do that again? I'm like, no. I explained it once.
Yeah, it's tough. Teaching is tough. That's a whole nother skill. And I appreciate all the teachers that has taught me and didn't bore me.
Yeah. They're few and far between, but the ones that I loved, I remember. I still keep in touch with some of them. Like my world lit teacher was like one of my favorite people, and we still keep in touch. And her husband taught AP English, and we still, so it's like they were great. Other teachers I don't remember, like the other ones, the bad ones I really don't remember too much, but like the good ones are just I always keep in touch with.
Yeah, I remember one
chagrin,
teacher.
probably.
Yeah, one teacher that was, oh my God, I would remember him forever. And he was a comedian. He is a comedian, actually.
Who?
I think he's Justin Ezzy.
Oh, I don't know him.
You don't know? From California.
I want to look him up now, though.
Yeah, he's a 5th grade. I think he retired, but yeah, he was so animated, and that's what I loved about him. Like, I remembered math and science. That's what he taught, and yeah, he's just so animated. Justin Ezzy.
I'm looking him up now.
Hi, Justin. No.
Bring him in.
I don't know if you're watching. I hope you're still here with us.
I have to look him up because now it's like some weird dude popped up, and this is not him. So I will telling you right now, I don't know who this guy is, but this cannot be him. Is he super old?
I don't know about super old. I mean, gosh, it was in the 90s, and he's retired. So.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I don't think this guy is like. No, and it's not this guy. Trust me. Google's fucked up in more ways than one. But I don't know what the fuck I was just gonna. Yeah, it's I wish I knew another language, but I just don't. I French would be the one that I would always think would be cool to learn because I feel like that's the one that's like gets you laid. I think, right?
Well, it is one of the love languages. So.
Yeah,
Portuguese is a nice language too.
That's one that eludes me because I feel like it sounds close enough to Spanish, but I understand Spanish. I'm really good with Spanish, actually. I'm good with Italian, French, not really, but when I was in Mexico. All right, I ended up in. Long story. I'm not going to go into that part, but I ended up in.
Wait! You ended up in, and then I ended up in a Mexican.
Wait, how did you end up in Mexico?
That's not.
No, well, Mexico was fine. I was there for a party, and then I ended up in Mexican prison. That's a whole other story.
Oh, okay. Do tell. We have time.
But they would call me the gringo that spoke Spanish because I didn't tell anybody I spoke it until like day 2. Oh. And then I'm just listening to them talk about me, right? So I'm like, it was crazy. So now Spanish, and it's funny, in school, I took the classes, I didn't learn anything. But then I worked with, this gentleman I worked with only spoke Spanish. So at my uncle's store. So if I didn't learn to communicate with him, we were done. So slowly, like he taught me Spanish really, and that's how I got to know it. And then my grandparents are Italian, so they didn't teach us Italian. But because I knew Spanish, like the Italian got easier. So when I was in Italy with my wife, we'd be sitting at a table. And I remember laughing at the table next to me that the guy said something. And then his wife or girlfriend is like, he understands exactly what we're saying. He's like, yeah, no. And I was like, poco. Like, not a lot. So it's funny because like that I got by with. And then French, I remember being in France. And people say people in France are rude, right? I don't think so. I think it's that if somebody comes here and they're speaking French, you'd be like, learn English, right? But now if I'm in France and I'm like, the first thing you shouldn't say is, hey, do you speak English? No, I'm like, bonsoir. Yeah. I'm like, parlez-vous anglais?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then they'd be really nice and they'd help walk you through the process. It's just extending the olive branch to be like, I'm not going to be rude and assume you should speak my language.
Yeah, right. Isn't Canada like that though? Like
everybody in Canada speaks both. But if they want to be rude to you, they'll only address you in French. But it's the same thing. If you're like, bonjour, parlez-vous anglais? And they're like, of course I do. But meanwhile, if you came up to them speaking English, they'd be like, nah. They walk away. So it's so crazy. But yeah, I think it's just being nice. I think being nice goes a long way, especially in another place. It's not like they're here and you expect me to speak it. I'm like, if I'm coming to you, I always try to pick up like the slightest things. Oh, my camera keeps doing this to me.
Like we lost Tom. The French have blacked out Tom.
They've gotten me. But the hardest ones are like those Nordic. The Nordic ones are crazy.
I think
the ghost of Tom.
Yeah, the ghost of Tom. Tom's gone.
I'm back.
There you go. You're back. There you go. Rough. Tom's not real. Tom's AI. I want that chip that they say they've got now, where they, like you're supposed to have it in your ear or whatever, and when somebody speaks a different language, it just translates it automatically.
I heard that.
I heard about that.
Yeah, is it here already? I feel like a lot of technology is here.
I think it is. I think you can buy like a I don't know, like a beta version of what. Well, actually, I wouldn't want to buy a beta version. That'd be the one thing where I'd be like, I'm sorry, what did you say to me? This thing is glitching, or whatever. But there's some languages I don't care to like. I feel like Russian would probably like. There's people who like. I've heard the language. I'm not a fan. And I'm not a fan of any language that seems angry 24/7.
Oh my god! Yeah, Russian. We actually
German.
That's funny. That's funny you say that. Like before the pandemic, we were living in a basement, and our landlady was Russian.
Ooh.
Or is Russian. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to learn it because I just never fucking understood what she would say. And I don't know if she's talking about us and if she wants to kick us out. Mm-hmm. But, I wanted to learn. But yeah, that language is they're aggressive with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like they're always pissed. I'm sure they're not, but like anything like that would fuck me up.
I feel like people say that about Spanish too.
Oh no, I always thought Spanish was nice.
Yeah, in certain countries, they're like, "Oh, you sound aggressive." I'm like,
I guess, maybe in certain countries.
Yeah.
My friend was from Brazil, and she still is from Brazil. I don't know why I'm saying was. She was, and then she abandoned it. She defected. She's no longer from Brazil. She couldn't handle all the soccer and fucking in that country, so she left. I don't know what else Brazil has.
The Amazon forest. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. There's that. Of course, I'm like soccer and
the tree.
Christ the Redeemer.
No.
Yeah, there's that too. Oh God. See, you're not allowed to mention religion or other languages, Tom. They're gunning for you.
Keep religion out.
Yeah, he said Christ, and it was like.
Down again. What is going on?
Oh my God!
I don't know, man. That was fucking weird as shit.
Yeah. What is going on, man?
No, I don't know. But yeah, like my friend and I don't know. I guess what do they speak in Brazil? Do they speak Portuguese? Right?
Portuguese,
she did not. Because I would say stuff back to her. And she would say something to me in Portuguese, and sometimes I would say stuff back in Spanish, and it would drive her crazy because apparently they don't like the they don't like the way. I guess the Spanish language is, or the way it like conjugates the verb, or whatever it is. They I didn't know that though. I was just like, oh, it's kind of like I understand what she's saying to me because it sounds like these other words. So I would just say it back in Spanish, and she'd be like, I fucking hate when you do that. And I'd be like, oh, sorry. Well, I fucking hate when you talk to me in Portuguese. We both know English. It's fucking
disrespect.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ. I'm like, and then I would try to like actually look up the way to say it in Portuguese, and then it would still be
Jesus
like from Google.
Cristo.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I would look stuff up in like Google Translate, and it would always come back with the worst fucking translation. So I'm just like,
oh yeah, that's true.
Oh my God. Worst.
I tried translating something from English to Korean, and I don't think it was the correct way.
No, probably not.
I used to work in property management for like a senior community, and the majority of them were Korean. And I would have to I tried. Oh my God, it's such a difficult language, but I would love to get that Korean language down. But I would type it in Google Translate, and it would just be the completely fucking different shit that I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I feel like your goals are at a higher level than mine ever were or would be. Like I was like you're just like, I want to learn to speak these other two languages to help, whatever. And I'm just like, I just want to figure out this video app on my phone. So I'm like, wow, Deylin's got some good goals going on. And I'm just like,
I don't know. I guess it's like, I'm so terrified that my brain will just not work when I'm older.
Oh,
I just constantly have to learn something, I guess. I don't know.
Me and my wife just saw a commercial for that that brain pill that it's like
the one from Limitless.
That's what it reminds me of. That's why I want to get it.
I've seen the same advertisement.
It's what's her face? It's Blossom. It's like, I'm not. Is that really it?
Yeah. It's not Blossom, but it's her. It's Blossom. What's her name? It's
Maya Bialik.
Thank you.
Huh.
No
I'm
worries.
not hungry, but I'll pass. What? Just kidding. Sorry, that was fucking. I'm gonna cut that out. That's fine. We don't need to keep that in.
But I'm like, I want to take this brain pill. I'm like, I want to try and make it be as efficient as possible with my mind, because I feel like I remember nothing. My life is always like going forward. It is never the past. And my wife is like, she remembers. She's like, I remember I was like 2 years old. I was sitting in the back of my father's car. It was a blue interior. She's like, and I had these white frilly socks on. I'm like, what? I don't even know if we had Chinese this week.
I remember stuff from when I was younger. I don't know about, and I remember like stuff my friends did or whatever, but I'm not good when people tell me stories. Like, I love being in the moment. I love laughing at them, all that other crap. And then when somebody else is like, you know, like, oh, like, I don't know, somebody else will be like, oh, I heard somebody said they had a story for me about so-and-so. I'm like, oh yeah, this thing happened. It was fucking nuts. And they're just like, I feel like they said there was more detail. I'm like, probably. But.
Yeah. Reading is so difficult for me because like I have to reread the same thing over and over. And I'm like, is there something wrong with my brain that I can't just process?
To
like,
remember it or to
remember
it in the moment? Oh yeah.
Yeah. To remember what I've read. But sometimes like I'll remember what happened like when I was a kid or certain events. But last week, like, hey, where did you eat or something? Or what did we have yesterday? And I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, my friend thinks it's like some type of ADD. Because apparently like ADD, like there's like it kind of spans like a bit of a distance when it comes to like what it affects or whatever. And like one of those things is like it's hard for people to remember lines, like acting like there's and I've had these like problems where like I'll remember a certain section of something and then for whatever reason my brain will improvise, like won't get one thing correct, and I'm just like, and I just say it the way I want to fucking say it or say whatever, and people think I'm being a dick about it. I'm like, I really cannot for the life of me remember that next line. Like, and I can't say it the way it needs to be said, and I don't know what that is, but I'm like, I'm not trying to be contrary. I really want to go home. I'd like to get
you
this
start
done.
feeling bad about yourself, like, oh my god, I can't remember. Yeah.
And for the longest time, like I had an acting teacher, not to brag, but it didn't work. There's 9 months and $600 wasted. But they would get on. They would be like, well, it's just comedians don't like to read other people's material. I'm like, I can literally not remember this line. Like, it's not even that. But
oh my gosh,
I don't know. It's weird, man. There's so much going on with our brains and shit that we don't know and we don't account for. And you know, if you can, that's the thing that drives me crazy is like people either qualify you as lazy or, you know, if you can, you know, pound square pegs into round holes, they love you. Like no matter what, you could be brain dead and fucking do that shit. They just want you to put in the work so they can get rich and then go home happy or whatever. And then like, but all the nuances that make up a person and who they are and what they're good at and what they're not good at is like, it doesn't matter. And like, we're still like, and the crazy thing to me is like, we learn about it and we read about it and it's always in like science magazines and it'll say shit in Time magazine, like people weren't meant to work 7 days a week. And then we just keep fucking doing it.
Yeah. Wasn't that a recent thing? Like a recent article? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So crazy.
It's like we're not meant to work that way. I do kind of enjoy the fact that like these restaurants are, you know, struggling to. Hold on. No, they're struggling because they refuse to pay people a decent wage, and now no one's going back to work after the pandemic, and that's what makes me. That's the kind of shit I enjoy because I'm like, good for them. These people aren't going to go back to a shitty living condition, and now the restaurants are like they're like understaffed, and all the people who were basically bitching about like, you know, restaurant workers wanting to get paid more money, and they were like, well, if you don't like it, fucking leave, and they finally did, and now they're like, why can't I get served at my favorite restaurant? And I'm like, because you fucking dick.
I was in Annapolis last weekend, I believe, and I passed by a Starbucks and they had a sign and saying now hiring with great benefits, 401k and free college. And I'm like, wow, they're really trying to get people like, if you have to bribe them. I think there's a problem, right?
Yeah. Well, look at the country now trying to bribe people to get fucking the vaccine. I love that our country is so fucking stupid that they're like, we'll give you beer if you get this shot. Free donut, free beer. They'll let you ride in front on the Batman the Ride at Six Flags.
There's a lottery now to win $5 million.
Yeah. yeah, I know. There's a lottery. Meanwhile, like third world countries are like, please, for the love of God, inject us with this shit. Like, we will continue to work in your factories for pennies. Just give us.
So sad. It breaks my heart. That's why I can't watch the news like that. Like, it really gets me depressed. Like, I can't.
Yeah, I know.
So much depressing news, and
there is too much. It is way too much. Everything is there's too much that like random people want everybody to do stuff about, which I've kind of tapped out of. Like, I still post stuff or whatever every now and again, but sometimes I'm just like, I can't handle every fucking issue. Yeah, like it's just too much. Like I'm, I don't know. Maybe it's for younger people. I have no idea if they seem to have the time to do it. I'm 36, but I feel like I'm slowly still digging my own grave, like God willing. But like maybe it'll all end.
You considered a millennial though?
I'm a fucking millennial. Yeah,
I'm a millennial. Upsetting. But I feel like we have so much pressure. I'm 29.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you are. Oh wait, no. Are you? Yeah, you are. You are.
Oh, yeah, I would. I don't know my age.
No, not 29. I meant a millennial.
Am I 29?
Yeah. I meant a millennial. I was like, oh, you are a millennial. I wasn't sure. I don't know the cutoff dates because Gen Z is like right in there. But no, I think you are.
I was born 91. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like, we have all that pressure. Like, we have to fix things that the generation before us.
Right. They just don't want to pay for the tools. And we're like, well,
I think I'm the generation before you.
Are you? I feel like you're Gen X just because of the way you wear your hat.
X. I'm X. I'm 78.
So what's the generation before you? I think that's
X. Before me was
boomers.
Was Gen X actually
boomers before me?
Okay, let's blame it on the boomers then. None of us are.
Everybody blames it. Yeah.
No, I think I was cuspy. Like millennial starts, I think in like 83, right?
No, millennials is I made the cutoff. Millennials are 84 to I don't know if it's like 98 or something like that, or 2000 or whatever. Okay. Yeah.
And what's the one after Gen Z?
But I'm an elder millennial, is what they call me, which is like I feel like I should have a cloak and a fucking staff and should be raising the dead.
Yeah, there's so much pressure. Yeah.
To raise the dead, yes. I am swamped with corpses.
With necromancy.
Yeah. That's how I feel every time I'm on the channel with like comedians that have been doing the same act for 30 years on this channel. I'm like, all right, guys, let's go. Yeah, it's just fucking it is kind of stressful to think about like the age and where you fall under, what your responsibility is. I feel like I have no response. I don't know. I shouldn't even be alive technically. I feel like there's no like you ever feel, I mean, maybe not like when I think about it sometimes, like the way society is set up and structurally and all that kind of shit, it's kind of weird to me that like I don't contribute anything to this society. Like I stopped, like I'm trying to think, like I don't manufacture anything. I don't make anything. I don't have children who can work in the labor force. I don't work in the labor force. I don't make enough money to toss it back to, the buildings and the fucking shit that they think keeps us all running. So I don't think they know. One, I don't know. I don't think they know I'm alive or care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's probably wasting money when I'm sick if they need to like give me another limb or some shit. Like I feel like they're like, if push comes to shove, they're gonna be like, why are we saving him?
Like you're feeling like COVID was designed to get rid of you and your kind.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case. And I managed to I stayed inside.
Did you ever come around like anyone that was like you were close, like in contact with someone and you're like, oh my gosh, I got it?
No, I didn't. I honestly didn't see anybody all for like a year and a half. Like I saw my mom and then my cat.
Do you know what's funny? I didn't see anybody, and then before like we launched Drink Jokes and Storytelling, I was on Richie and Mark's podcast. So they're like, "Hey, would you want to come out? We're doing it live in a studio." So I'm like, you guys are older than me.
Oh my God.
Not in as good a shape as I was at the time. I was like, you know what? I feel safe. Just the two of you and me. All right, I'll do this. So I go and I do it. Oh, that weekend I was DJing a gig in like a backyard in this place in some big house in Jersey, right outside. So I'm like, and the guy that filmed the podcast, that was like the engineer for the podcast, was there. So who is actually the son of the lead singer from PM Dawn? Anyway.
Wow.
Shit.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So he stood out to me. So I saw him like, hey, Christian, I played a PM Dawn song, like all that. So he comes over, we take a picture, send it to Mark. Now, fast forward a week. Christian tested positive for COVID. Right? The kid, only 3 people I've seen during this whole thing. And I'm locked up like a weirdo, right? So I'm like, my luck. The one time I leave the house to go do a live podcast in somebody's studio, and then I see the same guy a couple days later who ends up testing positive. So I'm like, I freaked out.
Yeah, dude, I would have freaked out too.
I was like, no, but I didn't get it. Like, knock on wood.
Oh my God, yeah, it's scary, man. Like,
right?
It's like, gosh.
Yeah.
I was really close, and I'm like, I was living with someone.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Your other half at it.
Yeah,
but that was like, my God, that was the scariest, like probably 2 weeks and on, because she was a long hauler.
Oh man,
but it affects people differently. So
yeah,
my
friend got the long haul stuff. How's she doing with it now?
And she's a lot better. And like the funny thing, well, it's not funny actually. The crazy fucked up part is that she doesn't drink. And like the doctor was like, you have liver damage. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah. So it took about 6 months to get it. Yeah. It wasn't like major, but she did have liver damage. Like,
you know what's sick? It takes about 6 months for the long haulers to start showing other side effects that happen from damage from COVID. So like my sister-in-law is having, she lost her sense of smell, but she was fine with taste. 6 months later, now stuff tastes like vitamins to her.
Oh my God. Weird.
And I told
she did lose her
Flintstone vitamins.
I don't know if they're Flintstone vitamins. I'll ask. I'll find out.
I love Flintstone vitamins.
It's only certain foods, but they say it's because
it
crosses blood-brain barrier, which is crazy. So it's a neurological thing.
That's what was scaring me, though, because she did lose her sense of smell and taste. And the thing that pissed me off is that people were like, "You don't look sick." I'm like, "You weren't there with her for 3 fucking weeks."
Right.
Like I was literally masked up, shielded up in the living room. Like, you stay in that room, don't come out, windows open, don't touch any of my any of the utensils. Like, you are not going to eat at this. No, I was, I was like that, and it, she's a lot better now. And God,
you nursed her back to health. My friend is a long hauler, and he just told us the other day he's having, which we've all been playing games for years. He's having trouble using the controller. Like an actual regular controller, he can't. His brain can't figure out how to do the buttons anymore. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, his sense of smell is back and shit. But he's like, I cannot play with a controller.
He has. Tell him I hate turning this into one of my because I've been doing this weekly Facts Not Fearcast with a friend of mine, but she has degrees. She's an epidemiologist before all this.
They don't want you to tell this story either.
They're trying to shut me down again.
Fucking NSA and Jesus are after you.
Right? I don't get it.
Tell us the truth before it goes out.
before they cut me off completely. So so she has degrees from Harvard, Princeton, St. John's, and Columbia University, right? So
that it?
I'm telling you, it's cutting us down. So she's saying anybody with this stuff should start going to these centers that they set up, those 9/11 type of centers that they've set up all across the U.S. Yeah, she said if there's somebody that that's long haul, tell them to go start, register, get in there, and they can monitor if any of their symptoms worsen or this and that.
Wow.
How long do they have to stay there though? He's got 2 kids and a wife.
No, you don't stay there. You register. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the 9/11 foundation stuff that they set up, where they watch your symptoms and they see if there's any progression, and they start taking track of all the people that had all of this stuff.
I will tell him.
Yeah, I just sent it to my sister-in-law because I was like, "You got to go see this."
Is it a link or something?
No, there's one in Mount Sinai in New York. There's another one.
I mean, like, can you send me a link to sign up? Like,
well, tell me what area he's in, and I'll get the info from Heather.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will.
100%. I'm totally down with that. Same thing, Melody. If you want, I'll get you.
We would appreciate that, man.
The only
things
close
that are
call
kept secret, right?
Yeah, I know. Seriously, that's the worst thing. The only close call, I didn't really have a close call, I guess, but was this girl that definitely like wanted to hook up, like during COVID or whatever. And I was at the point where like I was having like my brain was having an argument with my dick. My dick was like, "You fucking go, you go." And I was like, "No, it's terrible. I can't do that." And then like 2 weeks later, she had COVID, and I was like, "See what happens."
You got lucky,
John the asymptomatic.
I know. I was like, "See what happens? You don't go out."
Oh my god!
Yeah, I just didn't go out at all, which is kind of like drove me crazy towards the end, of it. But otherwise, it suited me pretty well. Like I didn't mind it too much.
Oh my goodness.
So that wasn't too bad. But listen, I've kept you for an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that's you can stay, by the way. But I just
is that world record? Like, what is the world?
No, world record is Joey Cola, who I don't think I got a word in.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours and 20, I think.
3 hours and something, yeah. Wow. He's great. He's a comedian, and he's a funny dude and a guy I've known forever, and he's got a million stories. But yeah, that was the longest one we had done.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just like, oh my God, that is nuts. No, but this is good. This is a good time too. But I have to ask you our question that we ask all the time.
Of course.
Get ready. I want to know if you had advice you could give your younger self now, what would it be?
Go for it.
Oh.
Yeah. Just go for it.
Simple.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Whatever goals and dreams, just go for it, man. There's so many people that would try to stop you and say, it's not going to work. Your ideas, this is not going to work. This is going to happen, projecting their fears on you, and just go for it.
Oh, all right. I love that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on. It's been a blast. I love that I got to catch up with you because we feel like we haven't talked in forever. Let's see each other again soon, hopefully.
With the Johnny Bravo cut
in person. I'm leaving it like that. This is only gonna get. I'm just leaving it. No,
Tom, they really canceled you, man.
Tom, what the hell's going on?
I got taken out. They got my video. I'm so mad right now. You have no idea. You can't see my facial expression, but I'm trying to reset it.
Actually, you know what's funny? This is actually driving. I know it's driving Tom crazy because he's a big symmetry person.
Yes.
So I know that this black screen in the corner is slowly breaking him.
Oh gosh,
it really is.
Is this the first time that?
Yeah, it's
this is
never
the first
happened.
time it's gone out. I've never had this occur. I went to reset.
It's not the first time I've So there's been a couple times where my internet was so bad in the beginning, like I literally disappeared, and then Tom would have to take over, and then I would come back, what the fuck,
There was one time that we actually were both disappeared, and it was just our guest.
Oh, that was so sad.
And the funny part is that I started it because it's Dystopia and we were playing with new themes and such. So I started it with the Hellboy face filter on me. So I looked like Hellboy. It was pretty creepy. So I'm doing the Hellboy filter the entire time. And, we do our intro, but she doesn't know what she's getting into, Marlena Sheets. So
yeah, and this is early stages.
Early. So then John takes over the interview. He's killing it. I actually had a birthday party. So now I'm singing happy birthday at a cake somewhere off, outside of my studio area. And John's internet goes out. So now she's just sitting there and she's like,
this is what he looked like. Oh, it was like,
is this part of the show? Yeah, that's what I look like, but nailing it. And was selling the character hard. She never saw me as a regular person. Now this girl
I thought I was hallucinating. I'm like, wait, okay, is it time for me to go to bed?
You've been up too late. Oh my God.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
It was fucking hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. But
it's such a pleasure. And I want to thank you for being such an incredible influence on me without me even knowing. Because always, I could watch everybody sing along and dance along to the intro, to the music and stuff, and I'm always watching it. And they do. Everybody always loves it. And then do you have a channel, like a Twitch channel that you play on, or that you perform on, or
I don't. I'm just active on Instagram. Honestly, I'm trying to stick to that YouTube too, but YouTube flags me for the mashups, and I enjoy it. I mean,
yeah.
But Instagram is where I'm most active.
Yeah, we'll plug your Instagram like crazy and throw it up there once the episode's up, and tell people where they can find you and follow you. I like that. It's I feel like when it's just one thing, it's like 10 times better though too. Like, and you kill it on Instagram, so
Appreciate it.
I feel like, yeah, of course. I feel like it's cool like when people have like a one location to go to too. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people tell me different. They're like, you gotta be here, you gotta be here. Just like, I can just handle one now.
Fuck that shit. Handle one until you get somebody else to handle the rest.
Yeah, right. Gosh, that's gonna
start barking out orders.
I don't want to be that person, but yeah, eventually.
I knew as soon as I said it, I knew you were gonna be like, no, I don't want to do that.
But it's because, gosh, I have to have it a certain way, and things have to be done. And I don't know.
Oh no, I know what you mean. And you have
I don't
to
want to be that person.
No, I know. I don't want to be that person either. That's why. And sometimes though, not being that person makes it so you have to do your own work, which is a bummer. Because there's like times where I'm like, I don't understand why nothing's getting done, and I'm like, is it because I'm not an asshole? Like we're like, and then I'm like, maybe I need to fucking be more forceful about shit. And then I'm like, I don't want to go against the grain. I'm just like, whatever. Tom, did you just throw up a sandwich in place of your face?
Yes, nothing but no. It's my logo for my business.
Honest to God, it came up so quickly. I must be hungry. It's getting to that time of night because I thought that was a sandwich and actual potato chips, and I was like,
yeah, I'm hungry now.
Not bad. That sounds good.
Thank you guys for having me. This is amazing.
No problem. Thanks for coming on.
If you ever need a dystopia evening or dystopia overnight, I don't know. Dystopia
just for
overnight.
Every time of day.
I love it. I love it. Right? We have the real voice.
Yeah. Dystopia holidays and weekends.
Yeah. Dystopia Christmas.
Oh, that was nice.
Halloween.
That was sexy. Yeah. Halloween would be a great. Halloween would be a great one. That's not. Yeah. You're like Halloween would be a great one to do. We'll have to work on that one.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it.
Much.
All right. You too.
Great to see you.
Peace.
All right.
Dystopia Tonight.